Hello Aries, Aries rising, and Aries moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting October 31st, 2016. Quick reminder for you guys, November monthly astrology is up. If you want to check out your monthly astrology for November, it's on a special playlist on the main channel page. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, more private and personal to your unique situation outside of a general horoscope, you can go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, to schedule an appointment or order a downloadable video file. So what is going on this week? Well, on Wednesday, we have the moon conjunct Saturn in Sagittarius, which is in your 9th house of higher education, government and legal proceedings, higher spiritual education, long-distance travel, working abroad, and even multimedia business or internet business, things along those lines. And whenever the moon conjuncts Saturn, it's usually talking about a culprit being revealed. And this might actually be a really, really good angle for a lot of you. If you've been dealing with any kind of blockage to expansion or growth in any of these areas, whether it's a person, like a real life person, or maybe a prerequisite, or a document, or something that's been holding up the works as far as getting an obstacle out of the way, finally moving this to completion, we have the culprit being revealed this week on Wednesday. So it looks like we're going to find out finally some news about, well, okay, who has been holding this up, or what has been holding this endeavor up in this area. On Thursday, we've got Venus in the same area in your 9th house, forming a beautiful trine to Uranus in your sign. And this is where, you know, when you have the 9th house and the 1st house connecting, we've got a big catch-up moment going on. And it's all about catch-ups, if you haven't noticed, from about mid-October to early November. It's all about catch-ups for everybody. And for you, with Venus in the 9th house, it's all about popularity, and it's all about actually getting your name out there and giving you first priority. And when it comes to, again, travel, government legal proceedings, or anything where you're trying to broadcast your name or get somebody's attention in these areas, especially when it comes to business, academia, or promoting a personal project or even a publishing project, you are going to be finally getting first priority. And so Thursday and Friday, I think that, you know, if you've been struggling to kind of have somebody have a sit down or put you at the top of the list or front of the line, front of the queue, this is the week where we finally have, again, we have the problem being found out, and then we have you kind of like, okay, here's the perfect fix. Here's where we might break a few rules to do it, but we're going to do it. So, what is going on with your cards, we ask then, this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, Aries, we have the card of Isa, or the card of Ice. And this card always talks about a need to savor the pause, or to savor the stillness, or the slowdown. And that might not necessarily sound like something an Aries want to hear. Heck, I don't even want to hear it, and I'm a Virgo. And usually with the Ice card, it talks about a need to pay attention to where the environment needs to catch up to you. Alright, so maybe you're way ahead of everyone else. Maybe you're on step E and everyone else is still on step B. And, you know, when it comes to the card of Ice, it's also saying be careful about getting too far ahead, too far out of sight this week, because the farther you go, the longer you're going to have to wait at this point in time. Slow it down, take some time, you know, and again, allow the environment to catch up to you. Otherwise, we're always going to be kind of having a seesaw when it comes to who gets what priority and how far along is everyone ready to collaborate with you. Whether it's a team issue or a professional issue, people are just not ready, and you've got to let them catch up. So, as far as your tarot cards are concerned, when your Earth sector shows up when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Nine of Cups upright. Beautiful card, one of the best cards to get in the deck, and one of the most cut and dry, because the Nine of Cups always talks about a yes answer. It's one of the few yes and no question-friendly cards in the deck. And when it comes to the Nine of Cups, a wish is being granted, a request that you may have filed at work. If you've been looking to try and take some time off, maybe you're asking for a raise. If you are thinking about making any of those requests or putting those requests forth, we will be getting that yes answer this week. And this is also fantastic for those of you that are looking to get some kind of approval or authorization on, say, a loan, a mortgage, a transfer, or a move. Those of you who are looking for new work will most likely find out that expediting a hire for yourself is going to be quite easy. That pause card does make me think we might not be able to just kind of, get the show on the road this week, but we do have that confirmed affirmation, that confirmed affirmative as far as you are concerned. For your communications with air, we do have the card of the Nine of Wands upright. And this card can show up where a friend or a relative may be closing themselves off this week unexpectedly. And the Nine of Wands can also speak to some blockages when it comes to getting people involved. You may be noticing that a friend or a relative's trust issues are being projected on you unnecessarily this week. And while it may be difficult to prove ourselves to them, we may actually want to take another route and decide to find a place to show where this person just might be incorrect in that projection. Alright, because if somebody is deciding that they're just going to, burn because they've been burned, it's a good idea to help them nip that in the bud before that becomes a really nasty, lifelong habit. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Sun card inverted. Not a bad challenge at all. Because the Sun card inverted is, it's still a good card. It's still one of the best cards you can get, even though it's reversed. And the Sun card inverted is talking about a need to focus on simplicity and simplifying. Sometimes this card can show up as a challenge when we enjoy too much complexity, or maybe there's too much complexity going on in our, in a specific area of our life. Maybe we've made it overly complex. Maybe other people have put a little bit too much pageantry or theatrics in it. And this can apply to any area of life. Love, family, work, health. There's almost like, I would say theatrics is a really good way to put it, because the Sun card inverted is talking about a need to focus on where things need to just be simple, where we don't need to turn everything into a big pageant, into a large affair, because it's breaking it up into smaller issues and smaller events that, we're going to have a really easy time actually gelling with people, not turning it into this big mess. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Three of Pentacles inverted. This card can show up where the need to bring back some team player sort of mentality or spirit into our relationship is going to be a big deal this week. Because the Three of Pentacles inverted can kind of show where the teamwork or maybe the unity as far as productivity, as far as working together is concerned, is kind of breaking down a little bit just for this week. And this could have to do with a crush or a partner. Usually when we have the Three of Pentacles reversed, it can show up where a bit too much individualism is happening in a relationship. If we don't want to have unity, if we don't want to share, why are we involving other people in a relationship? We've always got to think about that sometimes. And with the Three of Pentacles inverted, it can kind of show up where we need to pay attention to where maybe, we and our partner are not necessarily working as that well-oiled machine as we used to, or where, again, we're not necessarily working on a team the way we could. It's all about cooperation and actually allowing the other person to be themselves, live and let live and do their part, while also contributing to the relationship as, I guess you could say, a living, breathing entity of its own this week. But we have to pay attention to where, again, too much individualism or too much me, my, is marring the, the opportunity for that, okay? So that is your forecast, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you would ever like to get a session with me, you can always, again, follow the links below or go to integratedmysticism.com.